Hey guys, welcome to the last video I'm going to be doing of this 10-day sequence. The last few videos, because this is day 7, are from other top coaches that I wanted you to learn from other people besides just me. So, this business is simple. As you can tell, we've talked about it multiple times. I've told you tips and tricks, and it's not super complicated, but I wanted to give you 4 more things that I think is super important when getting started in the business besides the vital behaviors that we already talked about. So, the thing is that this is a duplication company or business that you have to be doing the same things every single day to be successful. So for the things that I'm going to talk about, you have to be doing these 7 days a week. And if not 7, has to be 6. 6 at the minimal. Like every single day you have to pour into your business. And if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. And if you treat it like a business from the beginning and don't take sick days and show up every day, you're going to get a business-like income. So it really comes down to what you want out of this opportunity. So number 1 is focus on you. Better yourself every single day. When you wake up in the morning, you don't touch your phone. You don't just hop on social media. You start with figuring out what is going to help you for the day. So maybe that's a gratitude journal. Maybe that's daily affirmations. Maybe that's getting your pre-workout and hitting your sweat on before you really plug into your business. You are getting your foundation laid for the day, your self-love, your work, and then everything else can come in after that. And so it's kind of like the vital behaviors where we're talking about being a product of the product. It's the same thing basically, but you need to be pouring into your love and that personal development first thing in the morning before you can pour into anybody else's cup. And this is where people are going to see the light in you. So you have to be the light for everyone else. You have to be there showing up, talking about it, being on your social media as you're pouring into yourself. Like maybe you're doing your pre-workout, but people see that, but you're still not messaging people and you're not inviting yet. You're just working on yourself when you first wake up. And this is where you're laying the foundation. And so it's kind of like, say if there's those crazy, crazy busy people, like a mom, she's a teacher and she's taking care of her mother-in-law, whatever, I just made that up. But say it's just this, you're like, oh my God, how is she showing up every day, doing this workout, making a business, but she has all this going on? If she can do it, I can do it. And it's one of those realization things where you kind of realize if that person is sharing everything of their life and how crazy they are, but they've been able to build something else, why can't I? And so it's trying to get into people's heads and find that why can't I? Why can't I do what they're doing and live that life as well? And so that's where it comes down to when you're sharing everything. And this leads into number 2, sharing your passion. And so it's that feeling when you get up in the morning and it's really relatable to number 1 where you're focusing on yourself. But when you're passionate about something, it doesn't seem like a chore. Like, say I'm just super, super passionate about go back to that story where I was just saying how crazy busy she is, but she's so passionate about how she feels and how she's able to get through all of that, that it shows up in her Instagram and it shows up on her social media when she's sharing it, that people are like, oh, well, those products seem like they're working, the workouts look awesome, and she seems like she's absolutely loving it and it's not holding her back. Why can't I do that? And so you're sharing that light for people to find something that's better than just themselves and just going to the gym. And you're taking that time and you're posting on social media, because that's the biggest part, is that you're sharing all aspects on social media. And I think of my social media as like my blog. So if people want to show up and look at my blog, they show up to my social media on Instagram and you can see every aspect of my life, from going to school, going to practice, going to the training room, wherever I am or whatever I was doing in my first year. You can see that on my social media because I share all aspects. I don't hold anything back, and I share my story because that is where you're sharing your why. You're sharing how you came a part of this, and you're sharing to the other Maddies in the world or the other Sallys or wherever. You're sharing to those people that can find a slight thing to relate to you, and they feel like, well, why can't I? And it comes back to that question, why can't I do what Maddie's doing? And so once you're sharing that and where you're going and your vision and what you have planned to accomplish in that year, you have to share it publicly. You can't just keep it inside. You can't just keep it in a journal, because when you're sharing how far you're going to come and all these things you're going to do, it holds you accountable to get them done. You can't just say them and not do it and follow through. But it shows those people that if they jump on board with you now and you guys are going to this place, how amazing would it be to become of that now instead of waiting till down the road and then just having FOMO, always being so jealous of what's going on that you never took action and then you're scared. So that's why you have to share, and you're always evolving. So social media is the core of this. Number two, sharing your passion. If you're not sharing your passion on social media, you're not sharing your passion at all. And yeah, maybe it's word of mouth, but this time of age, like this day and age, people our age aren't just using word of mouth. It is social media, and we're constantly scrolling. We're addicted to our phones, whatever it is. And maybe that's not like you don't want to be addicted to your phone, but you're still sharing the aspects of your life, then put your phone away. But you're sharing that passion, sharing your daily life, daily struggles, whatever is going on, and people can find that and be relatable. And then number three, so we have focus on you, better you, find that passion, talk about that passion. Sorry, I have my cheat notes just so I don't miss anything. And number three is inviting. So if you don't invite to this business, you will be nothing. You'll have nothing working in your favor if you don't invite. And it's plain and simple. And your invites can look so many different ways, and I'll talk a little bit more what my invites look like, but your invites can be so different than mine depending on what you want to come of this business. So people are watching you all day long, if you like it or not, your public social media, and maybe they don't want to reach out to you because strong women are intimidating. And if you're sharing everything, your income, your workouts, and you're just being so powerful and vibrant, people are so scared of that. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But maybe how powerful you are is intimidating them, so you have to be the first person to reach out to them. And that's why inviting is so easy. So you could be like, hey girl, like everyone's invited to my Super Bowl party, like just bring an appetizer. But if you're not that close with me or you're kind of my cold market, you're not going to think I'm talking to you. So you have to go that one step further and personally invite them to that party. Hey girl, I would love for you to come to my Super Bowl party, bring an entree. And then you're like, oh, they're actually talking to me because they sent me a direct message. So really honing in on those direct messages is going to help you grow your business. And yes, you're probably going to get some no's, and especially if you're doing coaching and you're like, and it can be nerve-wracking if you're asking them to join the coaching opportunity because you see so much potential in them and you get a no. Yeah, maybe it's a little like, oh, that sucks, but it's never a no forever. It's a no, and then maybe they give you an objection, and you, like we talked about in the past video of, just keep going forward. You'll find a way to combat that rejection and objection, and you'll get through. But you're planting the seeds, and now they know once you invite them that you run boot camps, that you run coach mentorships, because maybe they didn't know what that was, and because you personally invited them, now they're aware of what that is. And so if you're doing it right and you're posting on social media and inviting to those things 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and you show that you have these boot camps going on and what is a boot camp, then they're not going to be as confused once you do invite them. They're going to see that showing up every day and they're like, oh, okay, like that's actually pretty cool. And then maybe it takes them 3 weeks, maybe it takes them 3 months, maybe it takes them 3 years, but you know that you are going to stay in this business for the long run, because this isn't a get rich fast based business. Like I've been in it for a year, and I plan to be in it for 20 more years because I've never been in the best shape of my life. And yeah, maybe I have started doing other things too to add into my fitness, but it all comes back down to Beachbody, and I will never leave this company, and I'm here forever. And so you're showing that passion, and I'm just trying to plant those seeds, and maybe some of them don't ever sprout. Maybe you are pouring into them and nothing's happening. Then you know that they're not the Maddie that I want on my team. They're not the me that I put myself out there. They're not the one I want on my team. And that's okay, because everyone can be in different levels of their life at the time. But you really got to show like the pre-Maddie Beachbody, because before Beachbody, I was not confident. I hated where I was at. Didn't know how to eat, never. Like, I just was not comfortable with my body, not confident, could not public speak, any of those things. And so now that I can share that, there's someone out there, because I'm inviting them, that can relate to that. Because there's so many people in college and wherever you're at in life that is not confident with their body, and they gain weight, but they don't know how to get it off, and they're too nervous to go to a gym. At home fitness, it's the most amazing thing. And that's coming from a college athlete that worked out in a gym all the time, you know? So you really got to share the struggle and share where you at were pre Beachbody and then where you are now. And even if it's a short amount of time into this, you still have to share where you're at because you're going to find the yous in the world and the Sallys in the world that are ready to run this business with you. So those were the first three. Focus on bettering you. Number two is sharing your passion on social media. Social media is huge. Number three is inviting. And number four, it really comes down, if you're doing the first three things, then at the end of the day, it comes to four, which is reflection. And so you're doing all those things and you're laying in bed the night before and you're like, okay, so did I get as far as I wanted to that day? Did I get all the messages out? Whatever. What could I have done better? And what did I do amazingly that I want to keep doing? Because there are things that you're doing great and that's working in your business, but there's also always things that you can redo, like revamp and do something different. And so that this business is always revolving because everyone that started on this business 8 years ago didn't have Instagram. It all started on Facebook. And now we have Instagram. And maybe there's something else that comes out in the future. But for right now, we're on Instagram and we have to learn the ways. And Instagram's always coming out with different ways to run Instagram stories or social media posts or comments, you know, whatever it is. You got to change with the times and reconnect and figure out what's working. And so you have to be reflecting and you have to keep going because where I am at a year into the business is not where I'm going to be at 3 years into the business. It's going to continue to change and I'm not at my full potential 1 year in. I know I have so much more room to grow and that's why I'm constantly doing personal development and working on myself in the morning before I change and help anyone else. And so you just really have to get into your calendar and maybe write down the first three things we talked about, like first thing I'm going to do in the morning, I'm going to work on myself. And then I'm going to post on my social media and share with my passion. And three, I'm going to do my invites and put that in your calendar every day. And I'll talk a little bit about invites, but you know, it's hard because not everybody is you. And that's where you're going to have to start weeding people out. So you're going to have to find the people that aren't your tribe, and that's fine. You have a cold market and you have a warm market, and it's great to work your warm market when you first get into this business because those are usually your friends and family that have a little more trust in you, but I love rocking my cold market because I have no fear if someone rejects me that I don't know. And that's where I started. I was like, if my friends don't want to do it, I'm going to invite people that I have no clue who they are. And those people are joining me. They saw something in myself that some of my friends weren't ready to jump on board when I first started this business. And so you have to work your cold market and your warm market. And, you know, inviting can be tough, but I talked about it before. You have to be constantly adding and constantly finding new things. And so you're funneling things out. And when I started this, like this comes with the reflection part, is that I knew I was inviting, like I knew I was doing some, and my goal was always 57. I don't know, I picked a random number, and it was based on that I want to build my business. It wasn't, some people do 10 invites a day, but for me, if I want to be an elite team and I want to be in the top 10 of the entire network, 10 invites a day is not cutting it. And so you have to really, like, what is your goal? And what is realistic to actually get to that goal? Because 10 invites or 10 followers a day wasn't going to get me to that goal. So I never really realized, I didn't know if I was doing the 57 invites I wanted to do because sometimes I got distracted. Sometimes I was on a call. Sometimes I was doing this. And so I wasn't actually counting how many I was doing. So I found a way, and all you have to do is get a basic notebook. Or maybe you just get, if you're more digital, you can do it on a digital platform. Sorry, I'm having like a kink in my neck. But maybe you do it like on your iPad or whatever. But you fold a basic line piece of paper, has 35 lines. Fold it in half. You have 2 sheets. Do 70 invites. That is going to blow up your business. But you have 70 lines and you just fill them out. You just put the name of the person you sent an invite to. And that's an amazing way to keep you accountable and making sure you're actually doing all 70. And that was the way that I just never felt like I was actually doing the things I needed to do to count a way of tracking that wasn't super complicated. And so that's what I found out. But you know, you have like everyone has their own pace they're going to work out. And if you just want to be a hobby coach and you want to just get your shakes paid for and you're just looking to help 3 people and hit Success Club 6, great. 10 invites a day might be perfect for you. But if you're trying to be top 10, like I said, and be elite and be these huge accolades, 10 invites isn't enough. And so you got to find a number that's going to really grow your business. And it really sucks, but if you're not sending invites, you will not be successful. And that's the bottom line. And yeah, maybe it scares you and maybe you're fearful, but get over it. Get over your damn self. Send the invites because it's only going to help you. And you're only helping people by giving them the gift of health. And you're not just selling them a tangible product like hair products or makeup or something like that. You are giving them the best gift anyone could ever have. And so if you don't have a why, it's going to be very hard to get there. But if you have a why and you have a reason you want to do this, it is so easy and you are filled with passion. And so like say I want to sell someone a Carhartt beanie because I love it. It's so easy. But if you ever feel salesy, it's because you are being salesy. And if you aren't passionate, it comes off as salesy because you're just doing it to do it. Whereas like if I want to sell someone a beanie because I love it, I don't even have to say like, oh, do you want to buy it? I just tell them how amazing it is and they're going to do it because they see the passion, how much it like joy it brings me that they want to get involved too. So when you're inviting, a simple invite, I always just say like, hey girl, don't know what your plans are for the spring, but if you're interested in getting started in a spring boot camp and I'll give you a simple meal plan and we have easy to follow workouts and we can do this together, would you be interested? Super simple. But if they're like, well, what the hell is a boot camp? You're not doing your job on social media and you're not sharing what you have and what opportunity because they have no idea what you're talking about. You're not doing the social media part. You're just doing the invites and they have to go hand in hand because otherwise people are confused. They're like, what are you talking about? Or if they're like, you can be a coach, like what is a coach? You haven't been doing any sneak peeks and you haven't been inviting to that. And that comes and you'll learn how to do that. But you've got to make sure you're doing the basics every single day, sharing that passion on social media. And another really important thing is like after those simple invites, you have to be growing your Instagram, like I said in the last video, by doing it organically. Do not buy followers on Instagram because those people are not your market. Those people aren't going to buy it from you and it's just going to make you have a high number that doesn't mean anything. And so you can go through hashtags, you can go through locations, you can go through boutiques in the area that you like, but go to the people that like those posts and then follow. And you got to find someone that's, this is really funny, but someone was saying, find someone that you would want to go to Summit, our big coach event, and share a full-size bed with them, or go to Mexico and share a full-size bed with them, and that means they're your tribe. So if there's someone you're like, I could not see myself doing that with, maybe they're not for team like the Mad Empire or whatever team you have, maybe that's not for them because if you don't see them on your tribe, you're going to have a really hard time staying with them and fulfilling their cup every single day. And, you know, one other thing besides getting the followers to grow your Instagram, because if you don't have followers, you can't invite and you're going through A, going through B, like I said in the last video, but you got to have good lighting. And if your photo quality, you're like, oh, that's like kind of grainy. It is grainy. It's not a good photo. So get good lighting, find a window, get a selfie light, and you can write off a selfie light for your taxes because you're running your small business and you can write it off. But find some good lighting. Find a light, find a window, find something that's going to make your photos look better because when someone comes to your storefront, which is your social media, and your photos are low quality, they're like, bye. They can go find someone else that has better quality photos. So I really hope you guys have found so many interesting facts and so many things that are going to help you grow your business. But when it comes down to it, you are the most important thing. You are what you're selling, and it's becoming part of you. So you have to show up for yourself first. Second, you got to be sharing your passion, sharing it on social media, just bringing all that fire in, inviting people to the party. Don't let them sit back and be scared by strong women. Invite them to this party. And fourth is just reflecting. What can you do better? What did you do amazing? What will help you do amazingly in this business? And where are your goals? And what is your why? It all comes back to your why. Why do you want to do this? All right, guys. Can't wait to keep meeting you. If you have questions, please send them my way. Maddie Macis, or because I'm your upline coach. And you can always reach out to your personally sponsored coach as well. Bye, guys.